Welcome to Whole30's Dear Melissa, a real talk advice column to help you discover the foods that work best in your body, build healthy habits that stick, and have the confidence to make the choices that feel right for you. Today, I'm answering a question from Michelle, who has a lot of food-related sensitivities and is kind of bummed to watch her friends and family eat things she can't. Michelle writes, Dear Melissa, before the Whole30, I had a lot of chronic pain and brain fog. Once my Whole30 was complete, my joints and muscles felt better than they had in years. My pain was gone and I had lots of energy. Reintroduction wasn't as exciting though. When my coworkers completed their Whole30, they reintroduced grains, dairy, and sugar and continued to feel okay. When I reintroduced some of my favorite foods, my pain immediately came back. I'm discouraged that foods others seem to enjoy without consequence affect me so negatively, and I worry that I'll never be able to eat the foods my friends do without pain. Hi, Michelle. The first thing I'm going to say is I'm sorry, and this super sucks. Food is so much more than fuel. It's connection, joy, memory, and tradition. Losing a food you used to love is a grieving process. You're sad about saying goodbye to the food itself because it's delicious and you love it and you don't want to stop eating it. But losing that food also means losing everything that goes along with enjoying that food in the company of others. The shared experience, the tradition, the fond memories, the sense of belonging. That is very, very real. And it's 100% valid that you're feeling discouraged and disappointed. Here's the real talk. You came to the Whole30 with serious inflammation and significant symptoms. During the elimination phase, those symptoms disappeared. That is truly incredible. It seems as though you had a number of hidden food sensitivities contributing to your pain, energy, and brain fog, and you now have a path to eliminate the pain those foods were causing. I hope that feels incredibly encouraging and empowering, and you should be proud of the hard work you've done here. During reintroduction, you've discovered that bringing these foods back also brings back your pain, at least for now. You have clearly displayed a greater sensitivity to some or all of the food groups you brought back, like grains, dairy, and added sugar. That's not surprising, given that the food groups we eliminate are commonly problematic for the gut and immune system, and because you experienced such a dramatic transformation during elimination. Your coworkers, however, perhaps didn't come into the program with the same degree of inflammation or health issues. Their systems aren't as compromised as yours, or at the very least, their immune systems aren't so overly reactive. They may have experienced similar improvements to energy, sleep, focus, and cravings during elimination, but it appears that their reactions during reintroduction are not as severe or directly consequential as yours, which leaves you watching them eat bread, pizza, and ice cream seemingly without consequence. We're going to come back to this in a minute. I'm going to repeat what you already know. Everyone's Whole30 is unique. The foods that work well for you won't necessarily work well for others, and vice versa. Your health history, lifestyle, context, genetics, age, and other factors all play a role in how your body responds to different foods. No two people will experience the same reintroduction reactions. This is what makes the Whole30 so valuable. It offers a personalized blueprint for the foods that do and do not work well in your unique system. And the program seemed to work incredibly well for you. Of course, knowing that doesn't resolve your frustration or sense of unfairness when your friends are eating pizza and you're stuck between enjoying a slice and being in pain, or saying no and feeling left out. So let's unpack some of the more stressful aspects of your question and see if we can't move you further along in the stages of food grief. First, you don't and can't know how foods work for other people. You are acutely aware of how your body responds to foods like pizza, and you think you know how your coworkers are responding too. You watch them eating it seemingly without consequence. But can you really know how these foods are working for them? Can you really say they're enjoying it without any negative effects? Maybe they do experience digestive distress after pizza. Maybe their head is on their desk at 2 p.m. after eating a mid-morning bagel. Maybe eating these foods does leave them feeling sluggish, bloated, or headachy. The truth is, you really can't know. And to be honest, that's not your business anyway. You are telling yourself a story about how your coworkers respond to foods like pizza. They feel great, and I don't. But you really can't know, even if you ask them directly. Maybe their, "yeah, I feel fine," is a far cry from what you would consider feeling fine. The story you're telling yourself here is stressful, so let's see if we can drop it. I encourage you not to focus on other people's reintroduction experiences, and please don't try to compare. That is a recipe for stress and resentment, and it steals your Whole30 joy. You had a remarkable elimination and a life-changing transformation. You've learned which foods contribute negatively to your symptoms, which means you're better able to control them. That is so incredibly powerful. Stay there in your Whole30 experience. I guarantee that will feel less stressful and more empowering than trying to get inside your coworkers' heads and bodies while you're all eating lunch. Second, your body is always changing. Your reintroduction experience today doesn't mean you're never going to be able to enjoy bread, pizza, or ice cream. You self-reported coming into the Whole30 with some serious inflammation. Your 30-day elimination and 12-ish days of reintroduction did a lot of healing, but you're unlikely to resolve all sources of inflammation in just 42 days. It might take much longer for you and probably will require additional interventions from your healthcare team because changing your diet alone can't solve everything. Still, by working with your healthcare team, you can continue to improve your blood sugar regulation, gut health, and immune system. And by continuing to avoid foods to which you are sensitive, you'll give yourself a solid foundation for that healing. Over time, it's common to discover that your tolerance to grains, dairy, and other reintroduction foods expands. The reactions you are having now are not the reactions you're stuck with forever, which should feel encouraging. You also don't have to just wait and see. You do have options here. You can play around with adjusting the dose and frequency of these foods. If a hearty slice of birthday cake brought back your pain, could you have a sliver with fewer consequences? If pizza 2 days in a row with your work crew leaves you suffering, could you have a small slice once in a while? Alternatively, is there a version of these foods that you want to enjoy that would evoke the same joy and connection without the consequences? Would a gluten-free pizza crust or dairy-free ice cream work better in your body and allow you to share the experience with your coworkers? You may be surprised at just how many gluten-free, dairy-free, and low-sugar products are available at the grocery store and in restaurants. And this could be a fun, ongoing experiment for you. You may also discover with time that you are ready to let go of these foods. It's hard to continue to see something as a treat when you know it makes you feel like crap. From personal experience, red wine, eventually you do say, fine, my body doesn't like it, and it's time to let this go. It's still disappointing, and my brain still tantrums from time to time, but I've found these foods are simply less appealing with time, given how terribly they make me feel, and you may get there too. Finally, when you are ready, there is a bright side here. Your body sends you loud and clear signals when you eat a food to which you are sensitive. In a way, this is really fortunate. This strong and clear response makes it easier for you to avoid things that don't work for you, and therefore easier to live with less pain. You are less likely to wake up wondering why everything hurts again and not knowing where or how to address it. If you were in the headspace to go there, you could think of this as a blessing. You've got a bright line around the diet that leaves you feeling your best, which gives you a lot of power in managing your symptoms. Listen, I will never force a bright side on anyone, so if this isn't landing for you today, that's okay. And even if it is, that in no way negates the valid feelings of discouragement that you are feeling right now. You can be disappointed and also grateful for your Whole30 experience. Both can exist simultaneously, and I want you to create space for both for as long as you need. Losing a food you love and the experiences that come attached to that food truly is a loss. If it helps, journal how you feel, talk with an empathetic friend or your coworkers, or join an online support group for those with food sensitivities. The last thing I'll say is this: is this fair? Nope. It's not. It really isn't. And it's okay to feel resentful of that too. But please remember, you have come so far in the last 30 days using the Whole30 to learn about yourself and how foods interact with your body. You have to be a strong and powerful person to make that commitment and see it through. And I have all the faith in the world that you will take what you've learned, difficult though it may be, and move forward with strength and commitment. Finally, Michelle, I am really proud of you for acknowledging the hard part here instead of trying to shove it down or skip past it. You are doing the real work here, and I promise it will pay off. If this Dear Melissa helped you navigate your own food sensitivities with more grace and ease, or if you think a friend could use the advice, hit the like button and share this video. If you want more honest, actionable answers to your questions about health habits and your relationship with food, subscribe and turn on notifications. And visit the link in the caption to subscribe to my Dear Melissa newsletter so you never miss a topic.